Pelicans have 34 assists. Teams playing unselfish basketball. Open look.
Nice.
Valentine.
Oh, nice. I like what Chris Dunn did there. He could have, he had an opportunity there that he could have forced up a shot. No one would have said a word. But he made the extra pass to the the man that was free in the corner.
And a timeout call by Alvin Gentry. The good ball movement continues for the Chicago Bulls. Now 36 assists, one of the reasons they're shooting 53% from the field.
You know, we should have energy and we should be outplaying the other team. Like I said, just competitive-wise, we don't have all the miles the other teams have. We should have energy, you know, young, hungry dudes that are ready to compete and show what they have in this league. And, you know, we have some proven guys, we have some vets, but, you know, for the majority of it is, you know, that age group between 19 and 24. So we shouldn't be tired out there. We should be the most conditioned team, and we should be running people up and down.
Well, Levine, one of those young, hungry dudes with marketing. Kobe White. Otto Porter is still a young, hungry dude at 26. As Yubi mentioned earlier, Wendell Carter not playing tonight. He's a part of that. A guy like Levine, this is his 6th year in the league, still hasn't played in the playoff game. He's shown he can score. He's shown he can be a guy that can put up numbers. You get the feeling that he's starting to really care. All he wants to do is this team to do well and get in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, well, it's... you know, when you come in the league, you're trying to establish your reputation. You hope that you can do that and be on a winning team. But if you're on a losing team, sometimes it gets you down. And unfortunately for him, he's had a lot of injuries. We brought that out earlier. Big thing right now, bench points for Chicago, 48, 41 for the Pelicans.
Hart deflects it out of bounds. Well, the NBA preseason upon us. That means ESPN Fantasy Basketball is back. You can sign up now at ESPN.com. Chris Dunn launches that one. That won't go. Well, we haven't had a coach's challenge tonight, Yubi. I was looking forward to getting your take on that. A traveling violation call on Jackson. It's an experimental rule this year. Each coach will get 1 challenge per game. If they win the challenge, they have to call a timeout to get the challenge. If they win it, they keep the timeout. If they lose the challenge, they lose the timeout.
It's a big penalty. You better be right.
What I'm curious is when coaches will use it, as Kobe White misses. I think, you know what you're going to see when one of your star players or key players picks up his 3rd foul early in the game, or maybe picks up 2 fouls quickly, and you think he got a bad whistle on it.
Well, look, I think you can't pinpoint because you got 30 coaches. They all have different ideas of when they should use it. By the way, that travel, I think that's the first travel call we've seen in this game tonight.
There hasn't been many.
No, and there was an emphasis this year on the travel call, right? That was the first one.
Josh Hart gets inside, flips it up and in. They've used that coach's challenge in the G League and used it effectively. Did a game the other night in Washington, D.C. Scotty Brooks used his coach's challenge and won.
Right now, very quietly, this group for the Pelicans is bringing them back.
Arcidiacono with a floater. Ryan Arcidiacono had a good season last year.
Look, he played 81 games last year. That was a ton, mainly because of all of the injuries that they had in the backcourt.
So he checks in. Adam Akoka, the rookie from France, is also in, number 20 for the Bulls, with Valentine Dunn and Felicio back in. Ball poked out of bounds. Well, Levine with an excellent performance, 28 points on 10 of 16 from the field. You score that points with that type of efficiency. Alexander Walker has to jack it up. Williams right there to clean it up. The shot clock was winding out. I think it grazed the rim. So they reset the shot clock.
Well, right now, the Pelicans, this group has really brought them back. It's only 10 right now. You get one here, you're right in business. It's been a long time since the game. There it is.
Jackson steps into the 3. Jackson's come off the bench. He's got now 12 points.
Yeah, I tell you, he's a solid player. He came on in that second half of the year last year for the Pelicans.
He's 4 for 4 from 3-point range.
Yeah, Plus, he's a pretty good defender out here tonight.
Valentine can't answer. This Pelican second unit or third unit in some cases. Trying to make the comeback. Okafor. Hart again. Hits again. Hart from downtown. And a timeout call by Jimmy Boylan. As Hart has hit his third three-pointer. And it's a 4-point game. 13 straight points.
Now, this is just good basketball. Make the extra pass, and they're doing it right now. They're catching the defense, fluffing back off of them. No, we're on fire right now.
Tonight, after our game on ESPN SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. Zion must-see stops on the rookie tour. That was the case tonight in Chicago. The NFL, where Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are vulnerable. And NLDS deciding games will have reaction and analysis. That's SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt later tonight on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app.
Now, we just want to talk about the Pelicans quickly. They've outscored Chicago 27-10 in this quarter. Off the bench now in the three ball. Frank Jackson 4 for 4. Josh Hart 3 for 4. Oh, great steal.
Jackson with a steal and misses the dunk. Chris Dunn right there. That would have cut it to 2. Dunn, the Euro step. Strong rebound by Jackson.
Oh, here comes this group again.
Okafor against Felicio.
Nice.
2-point game.
Yeah, I like what I just saw. Okafor ran right down there to where the defensive circle is in the paint and posted up.
You'd as a coach, like, how did you balance between getting guys their time, figuring out rotations, and wanting to win a preseason game?
Well, we tried to play 15 guys every single in the first 4 games that we would play. Then in the second 4 games that we would play, we would cut down to 15 players. All right, we usually have 18, 19 guys in camp. And then in the last 4 games, what the toughest cuts that we would do, we would play the players 12, 13, 14, 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If we got to cut down to 12 in the fourth quarter against your team, because you're probably playing your best guys at that time. So we wanted to really give the guys a chance to make the team against good opposition. I think that you owe it to them,
right,
to give them the time.
Alexander Walker hits the 3. And making those final cuts, and each team is going to have some difficult cuts to make.
Sure.
Balance between the preseason games and what you see from them in practice day in and day out.
Oh, absolutely. And then, you don't know what guys are doing, whether they're matching them up in half-court defensive drills as well as scrimmages and things like that in the off days. Some teams even practice and that on games that they're playing an exhibition game at night, and they're working, 5 against 5. It depends upon the philosophy, the coaching staff, and the teaching that they're trying to get in.
Sports fans are gearing up at NBAstore.com, the official store of the NBA, with officially licensed fan gear. Every team and all the players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
The dulcet tones of Kevin Harlan.
There you go.
Our good buddy.
Oh, yeah, we all worked together down there at TNT a long time. I was working with Dick Stockton, and Kevin Harlan was working with Doug Collins.
Felicio foul as he goes to the basket. Doug Collins, who's a consultant here in the front office with the Chicago Bulls.
Well, look, Doug has an awful lot to give. He was a great college player, and then in the pros, he was an all-star player, and he played 8 years, but then he got injured, and then became an outstanding coach, and then one of the greatest analysts that's ever done professional basketball. Outstanding. Great talent.
#1 pick of the NBA draft back in 1973.
Yes, indeed. Right.
Now a proud grandfather.
Well, his son has done a nice job at Northwestern.
Sure has. So about 3.5 minutes remaining. Largest lead for Chicago was 23. Pelicans The bench players trying to make a comeback.
Well, see, this is what you want to see. You want to see them play under pressure because it's some guys that might not make the team that are out on the floor right now.
Okafor got fouled with 0.7 of a second on the shot clock.
Now, coming in this game here tonight, Chicago had 20 players. They had 5 rookies. At the other end, the Pelicans had 20 players. They had 8 rookies. Well, if you're only going to play 4 or 5 games, both teams have only used 13 players tonight.
Well, the roster has to be cut down, as we'll remind you, upcoming national TV schedule. ESPN tomorrow, the WNBA Finals to decide a champion. Connecticut playing at Washington. Will be the first title for either of those franchises. What a series that has been. And NBA TV tomorrow at 10:30. Preseason action from Oakland, Golden State against Minnesota. Got to get down to 15 players on the roster. And each team now has the two-way contract players.
See, the thinking is this. You're a coach. You're playing exhibition games. Is it important to win the exhibition game, or is it important to give the players that are questionable minutes that are quality time in the fourth quarter to whether they can make the team or not?
Right.
Is that more important than winning the game? See, that's the question.
Right, that's what I asked you before.
Oh, absolutely. Like, to me, I think you owe it to the players so that you make sure that you make that last cut down. Back then, it was only 12 players.
Okafor rips down the rebound. The last time the Pelicans led this game was early in the first quarter. They trailed by 23. Again, the bench players have played the majority of this fourth quarter. Hart shot blocked, but a travel. There's another travel for you.
Yeah, no, I like what the Pelicans have done here. They've stayed with a lot of the young guys, and they kept Okafor out there. Well, that was an easy one.
The third step after the gather. Kobe White throws up a wild shot. Felicio the rebound. And here comes Okafor. And a whistle and a foul. Coach's challenge. I want to see a coach's challenge.
Okay.
Will he use it? I don't think so. That's when you can use it, when it's a personal foul called against your team.
That's right.
Much to the delight of the crowd. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And a chance now to tie the game with 2:10 remaining. Tell me the crowd's not into it. If he misses both free throws, it's free food for the crowd. A Chicago-style hot dog is their reward.
He's still got plenty of time here. 2 minutes up to, it's like a lifetime.
You don't care about the hot dog, do you?
No.
Kobe White gets inside and banks it home.
Yeah.
And they're going crazy here at the United Center. There's actually a terrific crowd for a preseason game.
Yes, there is.
And again, don't underestimate the Zion Williamson factor. The same thing happened in Atlanta. Three-pointer, Alexander Walker. How about that?
Look, this whole comeback has been the incredible shooting of Jackson, Hart, and now that last three.
If this game goes to overtime, I'm not talking to you. Archie Diacono trying to sneak inside. Nice fake, kicks it out. And he's a Frenchman for three. That won't go. Makoko couldn't get it to go, even though he had a good look. A lot of the crowd, most of the crowd's still here.
Yep.
And Alvin Gentry wants a timeout. Here's a coaching moment.
Oh, this is good. See, this is good for your team, good for the coaching staff. Let's see what you come up with from the out of bounds. This is just a great move. The defender was right on top of him. The elevation with the hand in his face.
Some of the players trying to make either this roster or another roster, getting an opportunity with some important minutes in what has turned into be a close game.
See, that's a very good point, Mike, because the player might not make your team, but people who are out scouting certain teams, they see a guy and they excel and they say, you know what, that guy is better than what we have at our place. Why? Because you're giving him the minutes, and especially like this, give Alvin Gentry a lot of credit. He has stayed with these guys that brought them back, which has been nice.
Meanwhile, you see a kid like Nikhil Alexander-Walker. He missed those 2 free throws, back-to-back free throws. Place goes crazy. Comes right back out without hesitation. Takes the three-pointer to tie the game up.
Well, how about 39-18 this quarter? 39-18 Pelicans. Nice give and go.
Shot won't go, but a foul. And he's going to go back to the free throw line. That was a beautiful setup.
Well, you like to see that if the defense is up into you like that. If you hit that post man wherever he is, and then the back cut. Because what happens, the man playing the man outside the paint turns to look where the ball is, and then his man goes without the ball.
And Alexander Walker, I averaged 24 a game in the summer league. Last year as a sophomore at Virginia Tech, over 16 again.
I did a game at Duke 2 years ago where Virginia Tech played Duke, and he was very good in that game. You could see he really has talent.
So the Pelicans, trailing by 23 earlier in this fourth quarter, have taken the lead. A 2-point advantage. Kobe White. Felicio can't tip it. Ball still alive. Knocked loose. Good hustle to keep it alive.
You gotta get a good shot in.
Arcidiacono. Shot clock winding down. Ball deflected. Last touch by White.
Yeah, good defense right there by Williams. He challenged that and forced that deflection.
Justin Simon, the kid from St. John's, just checking in, getting a little bit of playing time here at the end of the game, but part of that turnover for Chicago. Got a 5-second difference, shot clock and game clock. 5 on the 24. Alexander Walker can't hit. Ball knocked loose out of bounds. They'll look at this. They say it's still Pelicans ball. Murat Kogut and Tony Brothers, 2 veteran officials, will discuss it. The crowd just saw the replay, and they feel. Let's look.
Backhand.
Yeah, that's going to be Bulls ball, don't you think?
Yeah. Here's a good look. Yeah, if we can see that again, that's a good look right there.
I thought they said the ruling on the floor was New Orleans ball, didn't it? The PA announcer just said the ruling on the floor was Chicago ball, but I don't think so, unless Tony Brothers came in and changed it in this conversation with Murat Kogut. It was pretty darn close.
Yeah, you can see that one hand is blocking out the other hand. You can see right there. Now is the Chicago Bull player up over the top.
Yeah, now see there it looks like it's off Felicio.
Yes. See, that's why.
I hope they don't spend too much time on this.
That's why Okafor, he said, you know, our ball.
All right, so it's going to be Bulls ball.
Yeah.
They got 7
bewildered on their call. Okay.
7.3 remaining. This crowd is really into this.
Mike, last year they won 20 games. All right, they're happy with the players that they brought to this team, They're happy with the effort here tonight. You got to admit, for 3 quarters, they really played very good basketball.
Well, selfishly, I hope the Bulls go for the 3 and the win. Well, it's been a fun night here in the preseason game. Zion Williamson put on a wonderful show before he sat down at the end of the 3rd quarter, UB.
You just have to say, in the minutes that he played less than 28 minutes. His shooting percentage, his game from the foul line down was just staggering. And then the transition game, eye-opening about his quickness. And then the fact that, you know, he did a nice job out on the perimeter on the guys that he played. So he had a total game here tonight. 28 minutes on Monday, 27 minutes tonight, 12 for 13. Did a good job, you know, in rebounding and in assists. All right, now this here, the big thing here right now, you cannot let the guy, you can take away 2 areas, the corner into the post, give him the pass out wide. You got to make your switch now.
Felicio looking. 5 seconds to go.
You got time.
Ball knocked off. Picked up Arcidiacono at half court. Fires it away. And that's it. It's over.
Now, that was a very good defensive play.
The Pelicans outscore the Bulls 41-18 in the 4th quarter in the come-from-behind win. It was the 2nd unit and some members of the 3rd unit who steered that comeback. And defense got it done.
Mike, the three-point shooting by those key people off the bench, you know, really turned the game back, gave the Pelicans an opportunity to win the game. But what you liked was the fact that Alvin Gentry stayed with those guys and rewarded them with the minutes.
So Zion Williamson has a terrific game, individual-wise, stat-wise, and his teammates engineer a beautiful comeback here in the 4th quarter to get the victory. Final score from the United Center, it's the Pelicans 127 and the Bulls 125. For UB Brown and our terrific ESPN staff, Mike Green saying thanks so much for joining us. Up next, it's SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.